Ex-Justice Department official Jeffrey Clark can't move Georgia. Atlanta, AP. A judge on Friday rejected a request by former Justice Department official Jeffrey Clark to move the Georgia election subversion charges against him from state court to federal court. Time equals 400 ms. greater than U.S. District Judge Steve Jones said he was making no ruling on the merits of the charges against Clark, but he concluded that the federal court has no jurisdiction over the case. He said, "The outcome of the case will be for a Fulton County judge and trier of fact to ultimately decide." Jones had earlier rejected a similar request from Trump White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows. He is weighing the same question from 3 Georgia Republicans who falsely certified that then-President Donald Trump won in 2020. A grand jury in Atlanta last month indicted Clark along with Trump, Meadows and 16 others. The indictment accuses him of participating in a wide-ranging scheme to overturn Democrat Joe Biden's presidential victory and keep the Republican Trump in power. All 19 defendants have pleaded not guilty. The indictment says Clark wrote a letter after the election that said the Justice Department had identified significant concerns that may have impacted the outcome of the election in multiple states, including the state of Georgia, and asked top department officials to sign it and send it to Georgia Governor Brian Kemp and state legislative leaders. Clark knew at the time that that statement was false, the indictment alleges. Clark's attorneys had argued that the actions described in the indictment related directly to his work as a federal official at the Justice Department. Clark at the time was the Assistant Attorney General overseeing the Environment and Natural Resources Division and was the Acting Assistant Attorney General over the Civil Division. File. Jeffrey Clark, Assistant Attorney General for the Environment and Natural Resources Division, speaks during a news conference at the Justice Department in Washington, on September 14, 2020. A judge on Friday, September 29, 2023, rejected a request by former Justice Department official Jeffrey Clark to move the Georgia election subversion charges against him from state court to federal court. AP photo. Susan Walsh. Pool. File. The practical effects of moving to federal court would have been a jury pool that includes a broader area and is potentially more conservative than Fulton County alone, and a trial that would not be photographed or televised, as cameras are not allowed inside federal courtrooms. But it would not have opened the door for Trump, if he's re-elected in 2024, or another president to issue pardons, because any conviction would still happen under state law. File. Former Justice Department official Jeffrey Clark attends an event hosted by Representative Matt Gaetz, R. Florida, at the Capitol in Washington, June 13, 2023. A federal judge who rejected efforts by former Trump White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows to move his charges in the Georgia election subversion case to federal court is set to hear arguments on Monday, September 18, from former Justice Department official Jeffrey Clark on the same issue. AP photo. Amanda Andrade Rhodes. File.